Down with AfriForum, down! Down with racist, down!
The battle lines have been drawn by the EFF, vowing to react decisively to intimidation when they descend on Senekal this coming Friday. The Red Berets have berated the police for not using force against those who have overturned and burnt a police van in Senekal last Friday. Malema labelled the police cowards, saying had it been black protesters, force would have been used.
You are going to face white man, face to face. You cowards ran away. You cowards allowed white people to burn your cars. You are cowards. We are not cowards. Rabalata Makua, Senekal on Friday.
Julius Malema has called on his party members to exercise maximum restraint, but if provoked, they will fight back.
But you push, we push. You shoot, we shoot double. We will not to shoot anyone. We will not provoke anyone. We will not start anyone. Just don't push us. Just don't push our van. Just don't touch our court. You touch it, we touch you. You push, we push double. You shoot, we shoot double. We are not scared of death. We are dead already.
A 52-year-old farmer from Marquardt has been arrested on charges of malicious damage to property and public violence and will appear in the local magistrate's court on Friday. Violence erupted during the court appearance of two suspects in connection with the murder of a farm manager, Berndin Horner. Meanwhile, Malema and Mbuyiseni Ndlozi's assault case has been postponed to the 28th and 29th of October for a trial. They allegedly assaulted a police officer on the day of the funeral of ANC veteran and struggle stalwart Winnie Madikizela-Mandela. Samkele Masego, SABC News, Johannesburg.
And Samkele joins us live in studio now. Great to have you with us as always, Samkele. So, let's remind people what this trial is all about. It's 2018. AfriForum released footage. You see Julius Malema and Mbuyiseni Ndlozi seemingly pushing this officer, but they say they were provoked.
You essentially go back to how the death of Mama Winnie Madikizela-Mandela, the fiery speech Julius Malema gave at the Orlando Stadium, and subsequently when they went to the Four Ways Memorial Park where Mama Winnie Madikizela-Mandela was laid to rest, there was an issue with the entrance of Julius Malema's convoy into this memorial park. Then Julius Malema got off the vehicle. There was a scuffle between the Presidential Protection Unit, VVIP Protection Unit, and the police, which essentially tried to block Julius Malema from entering the premises to lay Mama Winnie Madikizela-Mandela to rest. There was a scuffle that broke out, and a court case was subsequently laid of assault against Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, who's the former EFF spokesperson, now Commissar of Political Education in the party, and the EFF leader / President Julius Malema. And Julius Malema was very vocal in saying that no police officer, let me quote him exactly, quote, "No white police officer is going to stop me from burying Mama Winnie Madikizela-Mandela," end of quote. That was Julius Malema's words about some time last year.
And he's actually asked for an apology from that white police officer.
He's actually saying that they are owed an apology, not only from this specific white officer, but also from the Presidential Protection Unit, from the VIP Protection Unit in the country, and that it's the police officers who actually owe him an apology, because when you go to a funeral, emotions are very high, and that law enforcement agencies and security must expect the unexpected from the people who are essentially in mourning, because their hearts are sore, their emotions are very high, and if you seek to basically aggravate those people, they will act violently or push you in the quest for them to give an honorable send-off to those whom they believe are their loved ones when they have deceased and are being laid to rest.
Very quickly, before we look at what he said outside court, media houses like us want to show viewers this, so that delayed. It was a court application. Where does that stand right now?
Essentially, the media application halted the trial from proceeding today, which was meant to start today this morning. We as the media fraternity halted that proceedings with the late application, which was rather sloppy from our side as well in trying to broadcast these particular proceedings. The magistrate did hear our case, and the various media houses were brought to the stand to plead their cases, give case scenarios of why this particular case is important. Some incidents and previous cases were cited, which basically we were seeking to get permission to broadcast these particular proceedings of this trial of Mbuyiseni, Ndlozi and Julius Malema. But what it looks certain is that media houses will have to provide pool feed in order to be able to adhere to the various COVID-19 regulations that are in place, that there should be 50% plus one people in a venue of any magnitude of its size, and that that would basically minimize the issue of people transmitting the COVID-19 virus amongst one another as the second wave or the second peak of this particular pandemic may come to the country, in the words of Dr.
So just to explain, that means people will be able to view it. We'll all just have to share resources as media houses. We're running out of time, so let's go outside of court. A lot of support. You've sent us these visuals. Is it fair enough to say he spoke less about his own case than the farmers in Senekal and what happened there?
He spoke less about his case, but he was more on political contemporary issues currently in the country, particularly the Senekal issue of the white farmers basically being left to continue with criminal activity unabated by the police. When they turned over a police van, set it on fire, they went and barged inside a courtroom. These are some of the issues that Julius Malema is saying, that law enforcement agencies in the country, particularly the police, they apply an animal farm method when it comes to policing and crowd control in the country. Because if a protest like that went viral within an informal settlement, within a township, I can bet you now that the police would storm in with stun grenades, with rubber bullets and with tear gas. But in Senekal, no force was used. Absolutely. You can't dispute that from Julius Malema, that you've seen this happening in the country, and that he's saying that Mbuyiseni, the Minister of Police, must restore the dignity of the police, as it seems as if in the country black people are treated as stepchildren and our white counterparts are seemingly treated like first-class citizens.
All right, thank you for that update. And by the way, the Police Minister, Bekile, will be speaking to SABC News tomorrow morning, maybe responding to those claims. There were claims that police have been biased in this regard. That was SABC News reporter Samkele Maseko.